What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. Today, it is time that we finally discuss the New Mexico governor's race. I know, we're talking about New Mexico for the first time this year. I may have made a video like 3 months ago on this race. I don't remember making a video on this race, but I may have. I don't know, but I don't remember. So today we'll be discussing the New Mexico governor's race because, quite frankly, we have not discussed this race at all. This is the first time we'll be discussing this race. Now, obviously, I've talked about New Mexico in the past, but this is the first time we're truly going to be doing a deep dive into the race. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's $36 a year, and I recommend you join as it supports the daily content. That's right, folks, the daily content will continue if you support Real American Politics today. So hope you join today. Alright, folks, let's get into the video of New Mexico. I really haven't discussed New Mexico. Why? Well, look at the polling. I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm not talking about the spread because, quite frankly, Survey USA, can you just go away? But the point is, we really haven't had that much polling data from New Mexico. In fact, the past week from New York, we've had more polls from that state than New Mexico this entire cycle, practically. But it's finally time to discuss it because it was brought to my attention. Trafalgar actually released a poll in New Mexico. Now, bear in mind, Trafalgar has been iffy this cycle. I still like them as a pollster, but they've had some Pennsylvania, some weird numbers. But let's look at it. So, New Mexico. This is a fairly Biden state. No shit. This is a fairly Democrat state. It's a younger state. It's definitely a majority Hispanic state. But there is a shot here for Republicans. Obviously, Mark Ronchetti is the nominee for the Republicans. He ran in 2020 for the Senate race. If he would have got funding, he may have won that race. Look at it. He got like 46% of the vote. The Democrat guy, I think 50. It was within 5 points, I believe. It may have been 6, but it was significantly closer than the presidential level. Now, you look here, Ronchetti's actually in the lead in the New Mexico governor's race. Now, it's Trafalgar we're talking about, and Trafalgar has been kind of iffy this cycle, like Pennsylvania, etc., but there's still a good enough pollster, and quite frankly, the only one I can really rely upon. I mean, PPP, Albuquerque Journal, Survey USA. Emerson was good. I mean, it is a good pollster, but they haven't polled in a while, and they only had Grisham at +5. So this is the recent best poll we got from New Mexico, and they have Mark Ronchetti up by a point. Now, obviously, there's a rule I have. This is the number one rule about, I would say, politics. Not really politics, just the number one rule for incumbents. If you're below 50%, and not by like a quarter of a point, I'm talking about like you're below 50% by quite a bit, you tend to be in big trouble. Look at history. Look at basically any incumbent without a major third-party candidate in the past 10 years. If they had been below 50% in polling, especially in a wave year, especially in a wave environment like this, and they're not massive overperformers like Ron Johnson, they tend to lose these races, all right, or come very close to. And Grisham's at 45.5%. Now, this is the thing about New Mexico. It's an extremely libertarian-friendly state. Look at Gary Johnson's number. I know that's kind of misleading because he was the governor of New Mexico for a while, but he got a substantial amount of vote in New Mexico, even for being a third-party candidate. Now, there's something major about this race that not enough people discussed. Ronchetti got endorsed by Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson's still a fairly big name in the state of New Mexico. And you look at past polls before this endorsement, the Libertarian was clearly, I think, screwing over Ronchetti. I mean, Grisham has been not pulling that high for an incumbent at all. I mean, only twice has she been really above 50%. And that's from Albuquerque Journal and Survey USA. Yeah, some very, very good pollsters right there. Albuquerque Journal, I don't even know who they probably got like PPP to pull them. But in any other case, you could see here that she never really was above 50%. And even after the endorsement of Gary Johnson for Ronchetti, you notice that Ronchetti, he has been picking up a little bit in the polls. So I truly think the Libertarian, who has been going down since the endorsement, she was going to be a spoiler. She was 100% going to be a spoiler against Ronchetti. Again, I'm not saying Ronchetti will win or not, but you look at the polling numbers, the Libertarian was clearly pulling votes away from Ronchetti. Luckily, Johnson endorsed Ronchetti, and there is a chance. Now, the question is this. Will the undecideds break for Ronchetti? In my opinion at this point, if the undecideds break 50-50, I think Grisham will lose. The only way I could see Grisham winning is if the Libertarian is surprisingly understated, which, by the way, look at history. Libertarians are usually overstated. Heavily. Like, for example, Gary Johnson was supposed to get 5% of the popular vote. He got like 3%. So you do some basic math. If the Libertarian actually gets like 4 to 5%, Ronchetti's probably in deep trouble. And the undecideds in New Mexico, this is the tough one for Ronchetti. This isn't your traditional undecided nationally that is white, no college. This one's a bit more of a liberal one. You look at some of the demographics and some of the issues. Yes, they're voting on the economy and crime, but they're not going to be as overwhelmingly Republican as in other states because just look at the demographics. It's not even like New York. I mean, I think it's like 80% Hispanics that's undecided, which there's a chance they break Republican, but it's like, I'm talking about New Mexico, by the way. New York, it's a whole different thing. But either way, with Ronchetti, it's going to be a matter of, does the Libertarian get 4 to 5%? If she gets 4%, Ronchetti, I think, is slightly favored. If she gets 5%, Ronchetti's, I think, an underdog. It's one of those races where I'm having such a hard time deciding where to put this race because it's between tilt D to tilt R. It's the definition of a toss-up. It's very close. From the only good polls we got, Grisham's below 50% by a lot. But again, these undecideds, they're a bit more liberal than even ones from New York that are undecided. You look at some of the crosstabs. So, what do? It's still a tough one for me to predict. I'll figure it out by November 7th, but as of now, this is going to be a close race. Either way, whoever wins this race, it's going to be close. Now, there obviously is a chance that Trafalgar's wrong and Albuquerque Journal's right, but do I put more weight at Albuquerque Journal or Trafalgar, which they've had some misses, Georgia. Anyways, not going to mention that because a certain somebody got that wrong. Whoops. But point is, Trafalgar I trust significantly more than Albuquerque Journal. Does that mean Ronchetti's winning? I don't know. I gotta dig deep in the numbers, but after the debate they had, I think last month, I wouldn't be surprised if Ronchetti's actually in lead. But we just gotta see. Wait on November 7th, I'll decide. It's just a very difficult state to predict this cycle. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.